So the National Youth Council partnered with this farm because of a need that arose.
This farm belongs to a person who is below 35. Someone has said it's impossible.
So,
you were once a farmer?
I lost the whole farm.
You lost the whole farm? My name is Mulisa Emmanuel, and I coordinate programs and partnerships of the National Youth Council. So the National Youth Council partnered with this farm because of a need that arose. The need being that there's that gap between people joining agriculture and making it commercial. So most people just do their agricultural projects for just themselves. They don't usually do it or make money out of it. And that is why most people start getting stressed and they quit. Somebody will have his 4 goats and then you will end up eating all of them. Yeah, so there is need to cross into the commercial sector of agriculture, and that is why the National Youth Council and Kapeka Agro and Livestock Farm found the need that, you see, how about we teach people, how about we share knowledge on how you can turn a simple project into a bigger project and make money out of it. So that was it. That was the whole idea behind this. So we named them farm camps. I know some of you were calling me, asking me, are we spending nights there? Because you saw the word camp. No, it's a one-day camp. Why we called it camp? Because we are exactly in the farm. Yeah. So we are supposed to learn. We learn it hands-on. So yes, and the most important thing about this is that you've had National Youth Council. National Youth Council is about youth, mainly. And that is why the largest number of people here are all youth. You're most likely all below 35, not so? Why we came to this farm particularly, and maybe later shall also visit some other farms. This farm is, the person who started this farm is a young person. He's also below 35 years of age. So there is no better way to learn how to commercialize your agricultural project than learning from a person who is your age. When you visit a farm where it is an old man, you say that one is using their pension money to start this project. That one has worked for some good time, so they have got a lot of money, so they started big. But this one is for a person who is below 35 years of age. And that is why, pardon? You're wondering? No, he will speak to you, you will know. Some of you already maybe have seen him, but he will speak to you. My work today is just to basically welcome you. And because I am the one who mobilized you and brought you here, I had to first speak to you first. So the key issue here, most of you came wearing suits, ties, but next time when you see a farm camp, please carry gumboots. Don't wear very nice shoes. So, because imagine we are going to move around, and then you have your very nice shoes, and then you can't move around with them. So that is just for another time. Because this is the first farm camp, there is a lot to learn, and I couldn't communicate everything at the start. So next time, if you have the opportunity to be a part of the farm camp that National Youth Council will be organizing in partnership with Kapeka Agro and Livestock Farm, please note that when you're visiting a farm, you dress up like a person. What you will notice is, here we shall not even eat like we are in a hotel. We are at a farm, so we'll eat like what? Farmers. So this is a place to learn. The breakfast is behind there. When you see the people serving at the back, we shall have a working breakfast. We are not going to, because we took a long time on the road. So we shall have a working breakfast. We need to get down to business. We have a few hours here. So with those few words, allow me welcome the team from Kapeka Agro and Livestock Farm to now take us through the next phases. I'll only come back at the end. Thank you very much.
So, funa ku magezi nabe mmwe mukikola mutya nenezireyo nga tete neyanza.
Good. Any other question? Your are so many. Yes. You are once a farmer?
Yeah.
What happened?
So I want to know what.
You were once a farmer?
I lost the whole farm.
You lost the whole farm because of what now?
Goats.
Zona sweet?
There.
Okay.
So I want to know.
Welcome to the sector. Yes. You have a question? I think we have the right audience. They started, failed, some are inspired. Okay, how many started and failed? No, it's okay. You start and fail. Anogamba kati kanjira nindamu walai. Kanjira ne umzamu ne break. Okay. How many have not started? But you'd want to start. Okay. So how many have and they operate in some? Good. How many will not start? Just once the club of farm. That is the beauty with working with people of our age. But why we are here today is to pick an inspiration and a motive. When Emma said this farm belongs to a person who is below 35, someone has said it's impossible. It's very possible. But I think there are key aspects of how you do something. So the challenge, I will not call it a challenge, but the reason why we are here today is at least to get inspired, to change the thinking and the narrative. That the reason why we all go to school, why do we all go to school anyway? Wanjit? Two? And when you acquire knowledge? You make money. But let us all agree with we went to school to get knowledge, to get papers, to look for a job. If I've said it wrongly, someone say Nedolimbi. But don't you think what we studied at school should give us ways of how to survive? Not basically to look for jobs. How many of us here have role models? Okay, do you have one?
Yeah. She's called RSU Namboza Florence. She's a ladies land surveyor. She's one of those first few ladies who is successful in a man-dominated career of land surveying. And she's there, for sure she's there.
Okay, the main purpose of today really is just to work with our minds. What we are going to do is just a simple mindset change talk. We are going to talk about things that make us stay within our comfort zones, not to look further. Things that have forced us to stay in the narrative. I was seeing people graduating last time and I don't know their number. And I also work from somewhere and at that same place we have a person who is 65 years of age. The one moving wants to replace this place and I've also been in that position for 10 years and I want to replace the same person. So I don't know how, and there are no jobs being created in the same line. So I don't know how best the line connects. But if at all, we can think broader than us looking for jobs, but rather creating the jobs for ourselves would be better. What do we need to do that? We need at least to see tested models. Someone who has done something. Maybe when I look at that person and try to understand what he has done to reach where he is, I'll just pick a leaf. We are not saying, and I'll repeat, we are not saying all of you will do what we have done here. But what we want you to note is to have your mind think outside the box. Think out of the normal ways of thinking that we are still going to wait for the government to give us incentives. What if the incentives don't come? Have the incentives come in? Or we are going to wait for the TDM of 3 million per parish. And I don't know if it also fits Fena parish. It becomes impossible. But the best is we all have to survive on this planet. Good enough. I was talking to one person from Egypt and he asked me, over green buses and I'm like, yes, it's a tree, it grows and it's normal. And I'm like, no, it's just a tree, it grows on its own. I don't know in Islam we call it Jannah, like you're in heaven. You have reached, and I'm like, you have reached. But like with this type of environment and climate you have, you can totally or absolutely do something, provided you have the keys or steps and even strategies to do what you want to do. So in today's few hours, what we are going to talk about is just our mindset. How do we best tune our mindset to reach our ultimate goals of life. We all have different goals. We're not going to discuss goals and values, but at one point in time we'll talk about them. Because I don't know how many people here have values. And you say, I stick on these values. One thing I know about Ugandans, one of the values we always say we are honest. But from your experience, how many honest have you seen? If we are all honest in terms of credit, in Uganda those that one bad niba nabagawa amasimu no sasula kono genda muyogera ko ngabanji. Can you do it? Gama, I'm going to shut up a shop wali nga buli omoja no chima iPhone 12 Pro Max. Nompa ye 5 no sasula muganga myaka 5. Will you survive? In Uganda, let us be honest. Okay, how many of us here have values before I leave? Okay, here guys are getting breakfast. This is beautiful. How many of us have values? And you say, Mazimadala, I stick with these values. Yes. The lady. You also have one? Could you share your values with us? Maybe 2 or 3. You can come here. It's okay.
Good morning to you all. For me, what I understand by values, these are a set of principles that guide your life. For example, part of the values, I think I've set it out that I want to spend my time, because time is very crucial, so I want to spend my time with people that add something on me, rather than those people who will take me a direction I don't want. So that's number one of my values. I want to spend time with people, invest in social capital that is really taking me forward. That's number one value. Number 2, staying committed to the goal. Okay? So once I set a goal, I stay committed to it. For example, most of us want to study, but then we just waste time and be like, but if you think out of the box, like he said, you see that there are a lot of scholarships targeting low-income countries. So if you really want to get a master's, you can even sit in your room and get a master's scholarship online. That kind of being committed to what you want. Okay, so that's number 2. And number 3, being hardworking. Like being able to say, you know what, let me look for this, let me do this, instead of just staying in a laissez-faire kind of condition. So yes, those are the 3.
Thank you so much. Now a quick one, thank you so much. I want one person to tell me if I wake up early in the, okay, not even waking up, and I get to you and I say, gentlemen, what do you want? Okay. We have a problem that one of our biggest things is we don't want to be asked why, because why gets to problems. Because what I'm trying to do here is to try to probe you to think. But I'm not going to take a lot of time because we have taken a lot of time already. So I'm going to invite Mukasa. He's going to take us through a series of things. But basically he's going to be our guest today because he's hosting us here today. He's, we'll say he's the managing director of this farm.